Welcome back to Action Drama Recaps. Today I'll be sharing a story with you. We hope you enjoy it. The movie is set in a not-so-distant future, and it begins with Eon's ad for their time donation program, where donors give years of their lives in exchange for money or what they desire most in life. The scene then shifts to Max Thoma, talking to a donor and offering €700,000 for 15 years of his life. After a bit of persuading, Max closes the deal and heads back to the Eon campus, where he's awarded as the Donation Manager of the Year for brokering 276 years. The CEO and founder of Eon, Sophie Thiessen, makes a speech about developing the program more and researching more, so that it won't be just the top 10,000 who can acquire it, but all the people in the world. And by that, everyone can defy aging and dying. Meanwhile, one of the members of Atom, an organization that is against the program, has sneaked into the Eon campus and 15 patients, while sparing the relatives and staff. In the next scene, Max's wife Elena comes home and they talk about Max's award and how they're going to buy a house by the lake where they'll raise their kids. They also talk about being able to afford the house when they have put all their money into their expensive apartment. The couple goes to visit Elena's parents and stays there for a couple of hours. But tragedy strikes when they get home because their apartment's on fire. Everything's lost and destroyed, though Max comforts Elena by saying that it's just an apartment and they have insurance. But unfortunately for them, the fire's caused by an open flame, not faulty wiring or gas leaks. Therefore, the insurance won't cover the damages, and the couple would need to pay for the mortgage, which would be about $2.5 million. But all their money's already in the apartment, and they can't pay for the mortgage. Although they have one other option. Elena can donate for years, but for $2.5 million, she'll have to donate 40 years of her life. Max says he can donate too, but unfortunately his match has recently passed away on a motorcycle accident. The only one who can donate between them is Elena. As they're on their way home, Elena's arrested. So Max looks for another option and goes to Thiessen for help. She tells him to send her the documents and she'll try to help. But weeks have passed and Max hasn't heard from her. And Elena's due for the procedure, as they need to pay for that mortgage for the apartment. Max wants to see Elena before the procedure, but he's not allowed to, and he almost gets arrested for forcing his way into the facility. Elena's forced to go through the procedure, and 38 years of her life is taken from her, and payment is directly credited to the bank. As they go home to a small apartment that they can only afford for now, Elena's in transition into going 38 years older. Max, on the other hand, got a promotion with a higher salary, but he doesn't accept it because of what happened to his wife. On his way out of Eon, he spots Thiessen and confronts her, but she only ignores him. Day by day, Elena becomes older until the transition is full, and she looks twice her age. Max gets home and finds her laying in the bed depressed, but she gets up and fixes herself as best as she can, and Max comforts her. But when looking at their reflection, she can't accept the fact that she looks so much older than Max, and they get into an argument about how she was the one punished. Max goes to the park and sees a child selling drugs. Only she's not a child, but a grown-up who has bought years to look young again. Elena had suffered a miscarriage because of the procedure, and Max is surprised, as he didn't know she was pregnant. Elena decides to stay with her parents, as she doesn't want to hold back Max, especially now that she's already so much older than him. He tells Elena it can be reversed, as he knows who the recipient is. But as Elena's father says, it can't be, as it is the system. This makes Max take matters into his own hands. He goes to the child selling those drugs and asks her where she got her years. He then buys a fake identification for him and Elena from the black market, as well as a gun. He then follows Sophie Thiessen from the Eon HQ to her apartment, and when she goes to the cemetery. Seeing that she goes alone to the cemetery, Max puts his plan into action. He goes to the back of that cemetery and covers his face as he sneaks on Thiessen from the back. He approaches her, and when she turns around, she looks very young. She screams for help and fights Max, but he tases her, and she falls unconscious. Max marks the grave Thiessen is visiting with the Atom Group logo, and ties Thiessen up, and puts her inside his car. He then goes to Elena and tells her that he found a way for her to get her years back. She goes with him, and he shows her Thiessen's tied up inside a room of this building of an abandoned junkyard. He tells Elena that Thiessen is the one who took 40 years from her. Meanwhile, Thiessen's security, led by Kaya and Nowak, conduct an investigation, and the head of security and the private investigator find out that it was Max who kidnapped Thiessen, and follow his tracks through his purchases and traffic cameras, figuring out where he's keeping her. At first, Elena's hesitant about Max's plan, but she eventually agrees, and she and Max take Thiessen with them. When Thiessen's security arrives at the junkyard, they're already gone. They got onto this ferry, hiding Thiessen in their car inside a bathtub enclosed with a box. While on the ferry, they see a couple with kids and admire the happy family. But then the daughter tells her parents about the lights, and when Max and Elena see the police on the docks, they figure out that Thiessen's security must have found them. Elena asks if it's the end, but Max has other plans. Max now threatens the family they saw on the ferry. He has the husband drive his van with Elena and Thiessen hiding inside the bathtub at the back of the van, while Max is hiding in the family's car in the back with the daughter and the wife is driving. They get through the border, and Max and Elena leave the family when it's safe. They make a stopover along the way and let Thiessen out for a little bit. But she claims that she's not Sophie Thiessen, but Marie Thiessen, Sophie's daughter. Max doesn't believe her, and when she insists, he tases her again and puts her back in the van. So they find this abandoned hotel and decide to stay there for the night. Now here, Mary tells them that she's on their side, and she doesn't support her mother's work. Still, Max isn't believing her, while Elena's starting to and is even feeling bad for Mary. In the next scene, Mary tells Max that she wants to wash herself, so Max lets her. And while she's in the shower, Max gives her some privacy. He gets on his phone but doesn't notice when Mary grabs the shower bar and smacks him when he turns around, knocking him to the ground. Mary grabs Max's phone and runs away. Max runs after her, but he doesn't catch up and she's gone when he steps out of the building. Mary's in the woods now and is trying to get a signal until she comes across a creek. She gets that signal and calls Kaya, but she drops the phone and almost sinks. Luckily, Elena arrives and saves her. They head back to the hotel where Elena guards Mary while she's cleaning herself. That's where she sees Mary without scars like hers, and she confirmed that she is indeed the daughter and not Sophie Thiessen. Meanwhile, Kaya and Nowak figure out of nowhere that Max and Elena are with Mary. On their way there, Kaya and Nowak talk about the ghosts that they have with them because of their way of living. In the morning, Max and Elena are pretty shocked to see a bunch of people with guns surrounding them. Then the leader of Adam, Lilith, appears as they take Max, Elena, and Mary with them. While taking them as hostages, Lilith reveals to them that everything that had happened in their lives is all planned and executed by Sophie after she finds out that Elena is her match. Max is supposed to be recruiting her, but instead they fell in love and got married. It was all Sophie who let them get an expensive apartment with Elena having to donate years as collateral. The one who killed Max's match so he can't donate again. The one who set their apartment on fire so the couple won't have a choice but to let Elena donate. Lilith also makes Elena choose between her life or Mary's. But Elena can't just take out Mary, and she drops the gun. So instead they make him as bait for Sophie. They let Max walk out when Sophie's security arrives and instructs him to make Sophie go inside the building so they can take her. But unfortunately, Kaya figures it out and tells Sophie it's a trap. Nowak reveals his real identity and that he's a part of Adam. So he shoots Sophie before Kaya shoots him many times. Then a shootout between the two groups ignites. Max runs back inside the building to get Elena and Mary. After fighting a few people, he's able to untie them both, and they run away and find a van at the back. Max is getting the van started, while Mary pulls out a gun on Elena. Elena thinks Mary won't shoot her, but when she pulls the trigger, revealing it to be empty, Elena gets pretty mad and knocks her out. They get her in the van and drive away. On their way to meet Dr. Berg, who will perform the procedure on Mary and Elena, Max convinces Elena to let Mary go, as they now have confirmed she's innocent. Elena gets mad and throws Max out of the van before driving to the location Dr. Berg tells him to meet him. As she gets there, they immediately start the procedure, and after it's done, Elena drives away and Mary is let go, walking alone before a truck driver helps her. Meanwhile, Max finds a refugee camp. It's also revealed in the next scene that Sophie is alive as she's wearing a protective vest. Kaya realizes how bad Sophie is and everything they've done, so she quits. Mary's returned to Sophie and is already transitioning. When she asks her mother to give her years, she denies it and only promises her to find a donor. The movie ends with Max looking at a pregnant Elena on the beach, but now with her new husband. Elena sees Max as he's leaving, but doesn't call him over. Max then goes to the car waiting for him, and it turns out that he had joined Adam, and now fights for their cause. We want to thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe for more awesome recaps.